But we're open to dialogue with you. And I'm just, I'm not going to say everybody, but there are educated pastors that's open to dialogue with you, and they are willing to even invite you into the church and discuss it. Y'all just want to record something. Y'all will meet a Christian on the corner, will quote a few scriptures, and then next thing y'all would Esau loving pastor. Y'all would just put something crazy inside and just load it up on a video. So it looks like y'all are really making serious moves out here. But people that are truly spiritual, that truly understand, like Messiah told us, he that has an ear, let him hear. We're watching. We're gonna let things play out. Like Gamaliel said in the book of Acts, if this thing is of God, we're going to let it ride. We're going to just look at it. We're not going to condemn it. We're going to look at it. But for the most part, we understand that there were a bunch of Hebrew Israelites in the first century that were Judaizers, and they didn't have authority from the apostles to do what they did. And they were going from place to place after the apostle Paul set up churches. That's another thing. Y'all get people out of the churches. Y'all not evangelizing in the streets. Not getting unsaved people like we would say. Y'all get people that already believe in the Most High God. Y'all get people that already have respect for the King James Bible, and then you start bashing the church, and I guess y'all think y'all convert them and let them in. That's one of the things. That's a couple of the things. So there were Judaizers that were troublemakers from the beginning. So this is nothing new. This is something that reemerged. Like we see the advent of the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's something that reemerged from the Nicene Council. That's another thing. Israelites, y'all are confused about the councils and everything. But those are just a few things. And this is not to speak condescendingly towards y'all. And I know most likely people that are Israelites, because trust me, there are more of y'all Israelites that are people of African descent, or people that came out of Africa, that are waking up to this and claiming that they're Hebrews and attempting to keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, and they're not involved in no camps. Because a lot of these camps is just mad brainwashing, cult control. That's all it is. They like to get your money too. We're not going to even talk about Israelites and money and all of that stuff. But the camps are out of control. But they're all brothers. They're all brothers. And shout out to them brothers that's out there that's doing their thing. Israel doctrine. Shout out to them brothers. They're not locked in with camps and just disrespecting everybody. Some of them brothers in GOCC. I'm not going to say everybody's name, but some brothers that they're pretty all right. We got some other people, and we understand, and we're open for dialogue, but y'all just can't come acting crazy. Y'all just can't come disrespecting and thinking that it's going to be all good. And I like the fact that y'all bang on the church. Oh, I love that, because that's going to get some of my pastor friends. I got pastor friends I grew up with. I don't know what in the world they doing with Christmas trees and Easter eggs, but they believe that's going to get them in. I don't agree with that. The truth of the gospel and the power of the teaching is going to get them in and going to kill all that entertainment in the church. So I appreciate y'all for banging on the church. But they're all believers, and they're educated. There's some young apologists coming up. They're educated. You just can't say what you want to say. You just can't quote scriptures out of context and don't understand hermeneutics. I'm just shout out to my man, Brother Dexter. He's in the room. He's on social media banging hard. I'm like, oh my God. I'm telling my baby, I said, he's not even playing. He's banging hard. There's some brothers going in hard and willing to talk to y'all. Another thing I want to bring out is the historical, the narrative. When we start dealing with us coming out of West Africa, just like we would bang on SETI and we would bang on Polite and trying to act like the conscious doctrine from Egypt was all over the entire continent of Africa, like there were pyramids everywhere and there was mystery schools set up all over the place and all of that stuff. That's just not so historically. Historically, we've been reading Josephus. Y'all just got up on Josephus. We've been reading Josephus for 17, 18, 1900 years in the church. We've been reading Josephus. So we have a problem with the amount of churches, with the amount of believers and the evidence of Hebrews in West Africa. At least a large number, millions of them in West Africa. We kind of have a problem with that. We know that the chart is false. We can dialogue with Israelites that understand that the chart is false. But if y'all are trying to uphold something that you know is shaky, we're confessing we know the Christmas tree is shaky. We know the Easter egg is shaky. The chart is made up. The chart is made up, and anybody that's offended in that, y'all are probably down with the cults, and your mind is going crazy because you're involved in one of these camps and you're trying to uphold the chart. The chart cannot uphold to scrutiny, plain and simple. But historically, there are pastors that's educated, and they just don't want to They just don't want to jump on the bandwagon. They know from the beginning that Abraham wasn't an Israelite and the high God was moving. Enoch wasn't an Israelite. Noah wasn't an Israelite and the high God was moving with them. So they're not fooled enough to say, I'm just going to say that we are of the tribe of Judah, and because of this, the blessing's going to come on us. Because clearly from the writings of the apostles, from Christ himself, from Peter, from the entire New Testament, even the Old Testament, my house should be called a house of prayer for all people. We can't just say Israel is it and it's nobody else, because God got a plan that's bigger than the rest of y'all. So it's the historical element, and there's some different things, but pastors are open to dialogue. They, sometimes y'all want to just debate and talk this, but we can, people can sit down and people can talk and people can communicate certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't look at y'all disrespectfully. Now, some pastors will be like, I'm not playing with a devil. They of the devil. Their doctrine, if anybody come preaching any other gospel, and they have scriptures on that also. But I understand, and I'm hoping that we can sit down and we can talk. Not me, other pastor, I'm not a pastor anymore. I just do my little apologetics thing right now because I see a need for it. But listen, we praying for y'all. We praying for y'all. Y'all can't sit down here and condemn us, because trust me, the hand of the living God has been on the church. I like to say, check the scoreboard. Y'all just started this thing in America 100 years. The church been going on long, and the church been going strong. I'm Brother Berean. You've been watching Berean TV. If you like what you heard, subscribe.